How's it going, everyone? Back with the stream today. I've been streaming a lot of Gruul Midrange lately because I've been really liking the deck. I think it's a little bit more fun for me to play more than the BGX Lurse lists. I just aren't. I'm just currently not really a big fan of Thoughtseize right now. Just with Vela Summer being legal and not being able to Thoughtseize companions. Um, Things you gotta have to shift your playstyle a little bit, and I've just been trying a bunch of other decks, and for those who haven't been keeping up with what I've been like, I guess ranting about, I just been trying other decks that aren't Thoughtseize. Like I love Thoughtseize as a card, but it's kind of bad right now. Like obviously Judd's doing really great, but I think I just need to shift and try other playstyles. And I tried this deck, and I think this deck is really fun. It's like a mid-range deck that has removal. Like you can play like Abs and Coco or something that is mid-rangey with a combo finish. I like this is kind of more of my playstyle where you just have like 9 removal spells, Firebolt, 4 bolts, 4 stomps, and Bone Crusher Giant. And then if you want to include Glorybringer, that's 13 removal spells, which is absurd. The deck can grind. Runs my favorite card, Tireless Tracker. Season Pyromancer can grind, and then it's a mid-range that can have game against big mana, which with Mags of the Moon. Um, so it's been fun. I really like it. So this is the list that I actually 5-0'd with last night. I've been actually doing pretty well with the deck, which kind of sucks because on stream I've been doing really bad. I think the past 2 streams of the Gruul mid-range, I went like 1-4. So hopefully I can break that that trend here and do well. Because like off stream I've been doing, it's been fantastic for me. I went 4-1, 4-1, and 5-0 last night. So hopefully I can carry that into today. I think the change that I will make for the stream, just because I want to test it out. Maybe I shouldn't stream things that are testing. Maybe that's my flaw here, but I'm going to try 2 Blood Moons main instead of the full playset of Maguses. I really like the Magus of the Moons because they attack well with Obosh. The flip side is when you are trying to shut off your opponent's mana base. Magus of the Moon is a lot more vulnerable to a lot of the Lurrus decks because I think more than 75% of the Lurrus decks run red removal like Seal of Fire, Lightning Bolt, etc., etc. So like Magus does a poor job of shutting the mana down, so it gets like Burn and Jund. Like Magus is kind of poor against it. They have outs against the Blood Moon lock, while Blood Moon makes it pretty much more difficult for them to answer it. So I can see why people would run 4 main. I like the Magus just because it can attack. Like I've gone into plenty of spots where I'm not really using it for the text. The text is nice, shuts off like half their mana, but it being able to attack for 4 is pretty big. Because at the end of the day, our deck is pretty aggressive, and we kind of need to attack. So that being said, let's get started. Hopefully today will be the day that this deck performs well on stream and isn't shy. So with the change, I don't think I updated the stream decker, but it should be fine. The only change in the stream decker is just the -2 Magus of the Moon +2 Blood Moons main. So yeah, let's just get things started. Make sure this is the right deck with the 2 Blood Moons main. Yep, let's get this go. Hope everyone is hanging in there with the shelter in place. I know I've been going to work half the week. We have like a Team A, Team B setup where half the department goes in half the week and the other half goes in the second half of the week. So it all go with if one half of the team gets infected, then you don't wipe out the whole department, I guess. But hope y'all are staying safe at home, or if you're going into work, you guys are also safe as well. El Yalo, I recognize this person's username. I'm pretty sure we've played before. On the draw, this hand is pretty weak, but we do have like interaction, so I don't mind just keeping this in the blind. My opponent does not have a companion. Oh, it's just boggles. This is probably one of our worst matchups. Um, there is an option to just snap concede, but I think revealing Obosh kind of signifies what we are. Canada hopefully becoming out of lockdown to lots of 0K state. That's awesome. That's really good to hear that cases are actually decreasing. It's a huge sign. Hopefully that means that our shelter in place is working. That would have been nice as a turn 2 draw. Or turn 1 draw, because we could have turn 2 Blood Moon them and they can't cast anything. That would have been really nice. But as of now, like, we're kind of screwed on, like, a 4-2 first striking travel. Like, we need their hand to be pretty dead here. Otherwise, we're kind of screwed. They just do the fetch land, so... balls, I'm surprised my opponent doesn't have Lurrus. Sure. And I'm going to bolt this. Seems good. They just have a big Boggle. Boggle seems really well positioned right now, in my opinion. Surprised a lot more people aren't on it. So we can make 5 mana, but I think I'm just gonna concede here. I don't see us coming back from this. Because like if we play Obosh, we are in chump block duty. Like technically we get one more turn, but I don't see a way out of it because this one has first strike. I think we just need to call it a day and hopefully we have a more interactive hand. So Trinisphere looks pretty good here. The 2 Nature's Claims looks good. Bringing the Blood Moons and the Anger of the Gods. Hopefully we can get him with the Anger. Put the board out. Firebolt seems kind of loose. It doesn't do anything against their Hexproof creatures, and it doesn't kill Core Spirit Dancer. Klothys seems slow, so I can see trimming maybe 1 or 2. Tracker also seems pretty slow, so I can see trimming like trim a Tracker, trim a Klothys. Like probably trim a Bone Crusher. Like I think our game plan here is just like try to turn 2 Blood Moon them, like dick them, or play like a turn 2 Trinisphere. Like I think that's the only way we really win this matchup. So I'm gonna trim on the Bone Crushers because the Bone Crushers are pretty weak here because like they don't like our removal. All of our removal is dead essentially, which kind of sucks. So I think I'm just gonna trim. Probably trim another Tracker. I'll just trim both Trackers. Like we just need to accelerate into a Trinisphere. Like that's how we can win game 1 and our game 1 post board on the play, and then on game 3 I think it's gonna get a little bit harder. I know a lot of countries other than the USA are ending their lockdown soon, which is good, but I think at least for USA, I think it's a little too fast, in my personal opinion. This is a turn 2 Blood Moon, but our green sources are off, but then we have Pyro, so I think I'm just going to keep it. And then we can just go Bosch. I think the way we cheese them is just going turn 2 Blood Moon. What is that emoji? Or emoticon or whatever? So that's not a good sign for us because they just fetch for... Oh! Okay. So now we are live. Oh, they have mismatched Slippery Bubbles. Got it. I think we just gotta steer the course. Hopefully we just draw one of our natural green sources. We just go Blood Moon into Season Pyromancer. And then they just can't cast anything. This, like, them having Temple Garden kind of signifies they're on a, like, land light hand. Oh, like we're kind of leading hard on this Blood Moon here. Like that's I feel like that's the only way we really win this game. So I'm going to cast a Seasoned Pyromancer. Probably discard land and Arbor Elf. And like worst case scenario, we just like play an Obosh 2 turns from now. Hopefully that's enough. And we just draw onto Forest. Sweet. That's sweet. So we just play Obosh next turn. So our game plan is working in a pretty bad matchup. Ooh, Arbor Elf. Jenny cut my hair, and she did a good job. I'm surprised Jenny's never cut hair before, and she like pretty did a good job. And like the wax can help. Just it's easy when you have messy hair, quote unquote, messy fetch hair, bold fetch. I see green hair, white buffs. Yeah, I don't know. I agree. Like I think they should have. I mean, if you fetch Forest, like then essentially all he has access to is like Rancor, and like I don't know what other green auras are. So it's like I think it's tough for them to win from there. So like that's our main game plan, right? Is like turn 2 Blood Moon or turn Sphere, and just hopefully like the rest of our deck cooperates. I think at this point, I still don't think I want Bunkers Giants or anything, so I think I'm just gonna go off from there. I kind of wanted to grow my hair out, but Jenny didn't let me. She put her foot down on me growing my hair out. It's pretty sad. I'm pretty sure your hair is nicer than mine, Andrew. I've seen some of your pictures. I think I'm just gonna go like this again. Yeah, my opponent definitely fetched wrong, especially if he had another land. Maybe he was a one lander and he needed both greens or like a green and a white source, and he top decked the second land. I mean that could very well be the case. Because if my opponent kept the hand of like one land, Boggle, and then like a bunch of auras, like that's a fine hand, right? And at that point you have to fetch for a Temple Garden. I think with the mulligan aggressively to a turn 2 Blood Moon, which we have, this is great. This is a great hand. Hopefully they have a bunch. Oh, now my opponent shows Loris. That's cute. So my opponent didn't show Loris game 1 and then showed Loris game 3. That's interesting. So my opponent plays a turn 1 Boggle again. It's good for us. Because they pay off a Temple Garden, so if my opponent doesn't play a fetch on turn 2, we are going according to plan here. Alright, that's what I want to see. It's fine. First strike, you got it. That's fine. We can race this. Rancor is kind of annoying because that's the card we didn't want to see. Because like we can deal with the first strike, we can't really deal with the trample. We can't like chump block for days as much as I would like to. I was like, did I burn my Nutrus claims? Because it's really sad if I didn't. So a land would be really good here because this turn or next turn, because we can play Obosh and start racing. I mean, I could also just play a Glorybringer and just chump block there, or trade if anything. There you go. So this is where we have to think where I'm going to play Glorybringer, and if they attack. They're gonna kill my Glorybringer, and then I can just trade Finks here. They go to 13 if I attack with Magus, and then I play with Bosch next turn, deals 4 plus 2, 6, 12. So I'm 1 mana short if they don't draw a basic, and I just attack. 2, 4, 6, 12. Yeah, so I win next turn if I draw a land and my opponent doesn't draw a basic, because I can just crack back and bolt. But I think right here I just play Glorybringer and just hold back. But I can attack with a Magus. Sweet. Now my opponent can't attack. And a land. Sweet. Perfect. So now land plus Obosh is game over. Don't exert. Bolt you. That's how I draw it up. I mean, this is a pretty bad matchup, and my opponent didn't play his lands correctly, but just gotta take advantage. Boom, boom. That was kind of cute. I don't know if my opponent just misplayed his companion in the sense like he didn't reveal it game one, but whatever. Like I think that is cute. For you to hide your companion and then like for game one, and then like reveal it game 2 and 3. I think that's kind of cute. Because one of the people I met on Discord, I think his username is Zarukai, I think. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but he posted a really cool list where he had like the Devote Druid combo, and he had Zerda and Luris, and I think game 1 he revealed Luris, and then game 2 he revealed Zerda, and then with Zerda you can go Birds of Paradise Umber Mantle combo, which is really, really cool. I think that kind of like switcheroo with companions is something that is unexplored currently, and I think it's really cool that he is exploring with that. I don't know how good the deck is, but I think it's pretty cool. This hand is poor. This hand is gas. This hand is gas. Holy. I'll keep this. Probably bottom an elf. And then depending on what our opponent plays, I can play elf or sprawl. Sunbait Canyon makes me kind of want to play sprawl first, just in case he has a removal spell. So I'm going to do that. I think the upside of getting 4 mana off of playing elf first isn't worth the floor of getting our 1 mana accelerant bolted. Red. If that makes sense. And then next turn we can just go elf, firebolt, whatever they play. If this is burn or something. Oh, this is some weird deck. Okay, Cascading Cataracts. Oh, we just turn 2 Blood Moon, and that's fine. Sounds good to me. Oh, I got Mana Tithe. No way. Oh, that's so brutal. So this is like some sort of like red-white prison deck, I'm assuming, with that. I don't know. That's unfortunate. Because it's indestructible. Man, that Mana Tithe was Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. Mana Tithe. Getting Mana Tithe never feels good. Sure. So we're gonna have to fetch a Stomping Ground. I guess I should have Firebolted them. I think we're better off just discarding Bunker Giant and Firebolt to see the Biomaster. Just get 2 tokens. I think it's just the most mana efficient play. We could also just discard this land. But I kind of want Kisagorfun. I think we kind of are kind of the aggro deck, and they are kind of incentivized to kill this. So let's just do that. We're kind of stuck on red. And then like ditching this Firebolt doesn't feel bad because of the flashback. I've been really liking this Firebolt as like just a one of. Sweet, and just play this Arbor Elf. And now we're just set for a big turn next turn. Like if this is kind of like an LD deck, if they don't have a Wrath, we're kind of in a good spot. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they do have a Wrath, so I'm kind of wary on playing an Obosh next turn. I could always just dot and just like beat face with this Kessig Wolf run. Oh, okay. Didn't think we had the Stomping Ground in our hands. This is gas. We could play Glorybringer. I feel like if they had a Wrath, they would have Wrathed over the Pillage just because we have these 2 elves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obosh. So if I attack with both elves or if I play Obosh, it deals the same amount of damage. But if I deal 6, now they go to 9, and then next turn it's lethal. So if they don't have a Wrath, that's pretty good. I could also play Glorybringer and deal 6, 7, 8. And they go to 7. It's very much how much do I want to play into a Wrath. And if they do have a Wrath, like, I'm pretty screwed anyway, because like my mana is just completely done. Like it's just a matter of like, how much do I want to commit against this Wrath? And I feel like if they Wrath us, like we're not winning this game anyway. And if I think I'd rather have the Obosh in play than the Glorybringer. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Tap this. Tap this. And hopefully my opponent just doesn't have anything that's relevant. Hopefully they just have a bunch of LD spells. Don't Wrath me. Don't Wrath me. Please don't Wrath me. Oh no. You're tapping. Okay. Cycling's good. Yes, that is good. That means they don't have mana to Wrath. Or they could Anger. But if they Anger, that's fine. Like, my Obosh still stays in place. Sweet. Stupid Crack the Earth deck. Stupid Mana Tithe. I don't know really how to sideboard against this deck, which is kind of awkward. Whitney368, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. I mean, do I just bring this back? Like, Blood Moon's kind of good against them because it stops all the little white cards. So, like, I'm assuming it's the Crack the Earth deck. Let's just look it up real quick. I'm tempted to just pitch the Fireball for Blood Moon, and that's like the only thing I really do. Not Saheeli, Practice Earth. What's the deck called? It's just like red white. It's just a Crackle Earth deck. Red white. How do I look this up in like 2 minutes? Okay, well I guess I'm just gonna look this up through this way. Recent decks. Poros Pawns is what they call it. Becoming Felix Goblin Dark Dwellers. Yeah, so shutting them off white shuts them off like all these annoying enchantments. I know they have some wraths. I don't know. Like, this version might not have it. I think I'm just gonna do Blood Moon over the Firebolt and just call it a day. Something like this. Bolts go to the face. I don't think I want Nature's Claims. I didn't really see anything. I didn't really see any enchantments. They had like the Mana Rock and that was about it. They just like pretty much Stone Raided us a couple times. And that was pretty much it. They didn't really do anything to the board. So I don't want to bring in these Nature's Claims on just this list, which I don't like. This isn't a list that I've played against. Like this list is vastly different than what I've seen in the past. I don't want to trust this. I'm just gonna close it. I think I'm gonna if they have some sort of like annoying enchantment, like I mean I can see them bring in like Ensnaring Bridge or something, so I can see these in Nature's Claim coming in. I can like just proactively bring it in over like I don't know. Over like Bone Crushers maybe. Klothys seems like it just wins the game here. Yeah, I might just go like trim a Bone Crusher, trim a Bolt or something. Since there's no removal in here, and just go like that. Utopia Spells are kind of annoying. They're kind of bad against targeted land destruction, but I think the payoff is there for like hands like these where we just want to turn 2 Kitchen Finks and just beat face. This Crack the Earth list is really popular online, which is kind of annoying. Okay. If they Mana Tithe this here, they Mana Tithe this here. Ooh. That's tempting. No Mana Tithe. You got it. I don't know if they would Mana Tithe this. I think they should if they do have it. And I think we just play the Blood Moon now. I don't think we can let them. I guess they could pillage us if we wanted to. I guess I can see the argument for just playing Kitchen Finks. And then if they pillage us, they pillage us. We just play like Arbor Elf and pass. Or we can blue in and shut them off their white stuff. I can see just playing Blood Moon out. And if they pillage us, they pillage us. Floating white mana. Oh, they could also just naturalize us. Oh, that's fine. Sure. Sure. You got it, buddy. So now if they pillage us, that would feel pretty bad, because that means we just lost a turn. Oh, okay. They could still Crack the Earth. No Crack the Earth. Okay, got it. So they're going to play the Kitchen Figs, because we want this to resolve if they do have a Mana Tithe. Because we care about the Kitchen Finks more than the Arbor Elf. And then if this Arbor Elf lives or a Forest lives, then we have a Glorybringer, which is pretty sweet. Uh-oh. Just Anger the Gods us. Molten Rain, that's fine. That's fine. So again, this kind of signifies that they don't have a sweeper. Because I think if they had like an Anger of the Gods, it did cast it. And again, like this is kind of the same situation as last game where like if they had a sweeper, I think they would have done it last turn. They could have cashed in before storing us. I think you're safe now. That was a trigger stone, right? Yep. And this board state is good against a Wrath of God, but not good against an Anger of the God. So hopefully they don't have Anger of the Gods; they just have Wraths. I've like the versions I've seen with this list with this kind of deck is they have a lot more actual literal Wraths and not Anger of the Gods. But I could be wrong. I mean, I can see this list running Anger of the Gods. Them playing Flagstones means they don't have a Crack the Earth, which is kind of safe. I don't know. And they guess they need the mana here. I don't know why they played the Flagstones. Oh, Johnny Vengeance, sure. This is not that bad. Flame Slash, okay, sure. That's fine. So that was a good draw, because we can just attack that Johnny Vengeance down and then just -2 it with Stomp. Or deal 2 damage to it, sorry. So maybe trimming on the Bone Crushers was not a good idea. We kind of just need them to fade literal Anger of the Gods. Like we can beat these cards. Like these walkers, like it's kind of whatever. Ooh, they're exiling the top. Molten Rains, like that's fine. Like the Kitchen Finks are just so good at just being sticky that like we can beat all the LD. Like this isn't a good enough war state where we can just ignore all that land destruction. Like it's kind of annoying. Like it would be nice to not get Stormweight, obviously, but like they literally need Anger of the Gods, or like Literal Wrath even isn't gonna even beat this board state. You just kill off the walkers. We just need them to whiff a couple times on just on draw steps. Like this is a 3-turn clock here. Like they need literal Anger of the Gods. Like blowing out my lands, like I honestly don't care. And I just hope we just draw fetch lands, if anything. Like drawing fetch lands just turns off their LD too. A good draw here would be a bolt. So then this is just lethal. Just draw a pillage. Yeah, just draw your pillages. It's fine. That's a fair trade. Oh, they had to draw the Anger of the Gods. Oh, that's pretty bad. So now we are. Dang, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Oh, the Klothys would be so good right now. Let me resolve the Klothys. Don't Stormweight me. So I kind of want to play the Finks first. Because if they do have like a Mana Tithe, I don't think they'd keep a Mana Tithe against us post board. Because I'd rather play the Sphinx first, and then if it gets Mana Tithe, I'd rather have this Klothys stick. So I think I'm just gonna do that. And then if this Sphinx ends up living, then it's just game over. Cool. So what's in their hand? A couple bolts. Uh-oh. Okay. I think I just have to attack this Nihiri down, as awkward as that is. And then if he exiles my Kitchen Finks, he exiles my Kitchen Finks. Because like this Klothys will take over. Like I can see my way self losing if like this Kitchen Finks dies, and here he goes to 8, and then Ember cools me. I think this is just the safest line. I can see why it would feel bad, but like if she doesn't -2 here, then like I just have free reign. Yeah. So then like now my opponent's just so far off of plussing. So now it's kind of tempting to Glorybringer. And that just like is game over unless they have literal mana tithe. I guess I'm just gonna exile the Johnny. Don't think it matters too much. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Off to a good start. Klothys is like starting to become my favorite card. Like we get like so for those who are just tuning in or just new to my channel, like I've been a PGX player ever since I started playing Modern, and this was like I think I started playing Magic right a couple months before Splatoon got banned, and I've been playing Abzan, Jund, like Rock, BGX all the way. So like coming to this deck where like you get into these board states like a Nihiri on play, like you get your mana base all screwed over. Like these games are actually really, really difficult for BGX. And like playing this deck, I just slam a Klothys and you just win the game. Like yeah, the Glorybringer won me the game there, but like they have answers to Glorybringer. But like they have no answers to Klothys that just sits there and just drains for 2. And they aren't winning the game because you're kind of stopping them, like how we like stomp the Nihiri or attack it down. But like the Klothys, like, but they can't deal with our wing initiative. But we can kind of stall them out to the point where Klothys wins the game. I was in the game state the other day where I was like black, white, like taxes, Luris. It was like give the runes, the human that like comes into play, name a creature, and you can sack to give indestructible and Luris. So like he had a board store where he had like 2 or 3 givers, 2 or 3 of those guys, and Luris. So like his board was like unless you had like damnation, and even then it gives it indestructible. So you need like -5, -5. Essentially, you need like literal anger of the gods. And even then, it gets protected from anger of the gods because giver protects it. So like you literally need like a -5, -5 effect, like Black Sun Zenith or something, or Languish. You need literal Languish to answer that board. And like if you're playing BGX, like you cannot beat that because a Tormagard can't attack through that board state. But like this deck, I just slammed a Klothys, and I had an insane board state too. I had like a couple Spyros, a couple tokens, like 3 Kitchen Finks, and an active Klothys which just blocked all day, and then like and the Obosh, and literally just like Klothys drained for 4 every turn and just won me the game. It's just insane. Like Klothys is just, I think Klothys is what A is makes this deck so much is really good, and B why I really like this deck, because like you can play the control deck really well. Like the control role with this deck is actually a serviceable plan, um, in the sense that like against like these like control Lyris lists like Grixis and like Demir and like Jund, you can just like go Klothys, which they cannot answer, and then you just like play draw go with them. You drain for 2 every turn, and then you like stomp them out, bolt them out, and like you just eventually win the game. Like it's like it gives you inevitability, if that makes sense, which is just absurd. I would really like a 1-mana accelerant here. I have a 2-mana interaction Bone Crusher Giant, so I'm gonna keep this, but it's a below average hand. I put Mulligan to 6 also, which is good. Bone Crusher Giant subtly one of the best cards in the deck because it gives you a 2-drop. Like otherwise your hand would be so clunky. God, are so good. 1-mana accelerant. 1-mana accelerant. Arbor Elf. Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl. Arbor Elf. Utopia Sprawl. Arbor Elf. Utopia Sprawl. Arbor Elf. It's not a bad draw against a Godless Shrine deck. Like Kajiving's one of our best draws. At this point, I think we just need a land. Obviously, to play our mono 3-drop hand. So their hand is... Hopefully they just play something that just dies or stomps so we get pretty mana efficient. Oh, we just get Abzan? Ooh. This is my jam right here. I love me some Abzan. Land? Mana Accelerant. Klothys is a good draw too. Klothys can just steadily win the game. So this stomp is going to be reserved for our opponent's Lyris. So we need a land at the top. That would be most ideal. Ooh, against the old Abzan. The old Abzan. Lyris is a sign of weakness. So we're gonna just fetch here and just stomp it. Hopefully we draw a 3rd land for this Blood Moon, which they cannot deal with. Get a forest here. Come on, 3rd land. Please, Moto. Do me a favor. And give us a 3rd land. Any 3rd land. Is it a land opponent? Is it a land opponent? Please. Oh, no. It would be so good right now. Oh, we would have Blood Moon them. Oh, no. Okay. I'm not getting punished. Oh, man. This isn't boding well for us. They could just push this elf. They probably just have like a bunch of like fatal pushes and assassin drogies, I would guess. Yeah. Yeah. You get in there, Shambling Vent. That's actually good for us, because like that means they're not holding up Assassin Trophy. If we do draw this 3rd land, we could just Blood Moon them. And they can't hold up. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's just game. And the reason I go Forest is I kind of want to cast this Kitchen Finks, and then we can get red mana off Klothys. Because we're going to cast Klothys next turn. That's not even... unless they're like some 4-color Lyris list. But... Oh, they got black mana. Oh, they're going to Thoughtseize my Klothys away. No. No. So black mana is actually pretty good because that means they can unearth. Um, I know Abzan runs 2 unearths. So now we kind of want to draw. Warbrelf's a good draw. I guess we're going to play this Kitchen Finks, play Sticky Threat, and just try to aggro them out. Blood Moon is superb in this. I guess I like this main deck swamp. Ooh, they got the plains. Okay. Okay. So this isn't Willie Adel's list because I know Willie Adel has no plains main. So I'm going to like this is the point where we just overload the removal. Like if they have the path, they have the path. And we just play Tireless Tracker. Oh. What are they doing? Create it, sack a creature and make a 1/1. Okay. Right? How do I know what modes it chose? That was a pretty good exchange for them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna play this Tireless Tracker and get a clue. And then we draw land next turn. We just Glorybringer. Like it comes to the point where like we just overload their removal. And if they don't have basic forest, then this Blood Moon is just gonna take over. Sure. So drawing a land next turn would be the best draw. If they have path, they have path. Because we just Glorybringer them. Land also gets into the clue, so we just outgrind them too. For those who don't know, Abzan is just like my favorite color combination. So just to, oh god, what are they doing now? Oh, they're entwining. That's why they got to do all that. That makes sense. Fine. I mean, how many more Kaya's could they really have? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to see if I want to crack a clue. If I want to just, can they really have another Kaya's Gal? That'd just be absurd. Because we can raise these 2 tokens. These 2 tokens is just not a big deal. I think I just like 1 Crusher Giant and Arbor Elf. If they have, in case they have a 3rd Kaya's Gal, which I really like. I think Kaya's Gal right now is superb Magic card. First, you got it. Sure. One card in hand. Red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can crack a clue just to see what are options here. Kitchen Finks. Oh, they have the path, really? Wow. So I'm not gonna attack. Surprised they're not gonna path their own dude. Which is fine, because now we can just go Kitchen Finks and the Seasoned Pyromancer and just draw more cards than them. We just need to hope they don't draw the basic forest at this point. Their opponent's putting up a good fight. I like it. I like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5, 8. So we're 1 mana short from casting our whole hand and oboshing. Let's see what. Let's cast the Kitchen Finks first, and then cast a Spyro, and then see what we draw into. Uncle DB, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Let's do this. A sprawl. So float 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 mana, so we can't cast the Obosh now. So, well, we can just do this. Red. They're at a pretty high life total, but as long as we just dodge. The basic forest, which it looks like we're lucky that we are. Spell bomb. Okay. You can exile my Seasoned Pyromancer. That's fine. They're almost at half their deck, which is pretty good for them and not good for us. But so are we. Four, 8. We just gonna hope they don't have another path for our Bosch. Sprawl is not a good draw. But I think we just cast this Obosh now. Like, we can't just not cast it. Seven, 9, 18, 20, 21. So it's not lethal anyway. So if they do have the path, I don't want to attack with these 1/1s just because. Yeah, that's fine. For that exact scenario where I don't want the lures to just get blocked. Oh man, this Luris is kicking our butt. We are not drawing any of our removal, which is kind of annoying. Sure. Just gonna have 6. Yep. You got it, opponent. We have a lot of good draws too. We just need to draw them. Bolt's a good draw. Trying to figure out if I want to bolt or if I want to. Like, I don't think it's. I think it's on the surface the best play is to bolt the Lurrus. I think that's like your knee-jerk reaction, right? But at this point, is like, if they have another Unearth, they Unearth, bring it back. Are we scared of that? How do we lose this game? Because I can see us losing this game by them drawing a green source. Them drawing a green source, trophying or decaying or blood moon, and then their hand is just unlocked. And in that sense, and they just play a bunch of like Tarmogoyfs, and we can attack through that. So that makes me kind of want to save this bull, and if I draw another lightning bolt, it just goes to the face. That being, because like all this Lurrus does really is just brings a bauble back. So like I'm not really scared about them out grinding us. I'm worried about them. Like they have 3 cards in hand. They're probably all green sources. It's probably like a Scavenging Ooze and this and that. But that being said, I think it's just the safe line is just to bolt the Lurrus and just like call it a day. I guess I should have bolted it and then attacked the 2 tokens and then a bolt off the top is live. So that was a misplay on my part. Just the little things like that. That was not very tight. Like if I was gonna bolt the Lurrus, I should have done it before I attacked. And that's where like my opponent just went off. Like I could have gotten severely punished there. Oh, Klothys and bolts. They're all good. They're all good. I don't know if I want Veils because they have paths. I like the Blood Moons, especially because they're Abzan. Veils, I think, are good. I guess just because it stops the abrupt decays and stuff. So I can see Veil being pretty good. Probably just board out like the Arbor Elves. I can see just cutting 1 Firebolt. Firebolt's pretty good against Lurrus though, just because you can just flash it back and kill it. I wouldn't hate just like registering our main if you really wanted to. Like that's not even a bad idea. Oh, relics are good though. Relics just shrink Tarmogoyf. The way we lose this game, this matchup is if they just have a Tarmogoyf and we literally just cannot answer, which is not like unreasonable to happen. So they can just like shave elves. Like usually the Jund matchup, I like shave like the Firebolts and like these Arbels because they died to Ren 6, but Absent doesn't have Ren 6, so it's like I don't mind just like keeping in the elves because if they like Fatal Push it, sure, I don't care. I can see also just no, the Bunkcrusher Giants are really good because it kills Lurrus. Like you want all these cards that kill Lurrus too, which is why I'm kind of like iffy about kind of like the Firebolt because it is a 2-for-1 in this matchup too. But kind of novels with the relics also. I think I just gotta sideboard as if I'm just playing John and cut the elves. Because like we aren't in a matchup where we want to race. Like we don't need to play a 3-drop on turn 2. Like a Blood Moon on turn 3 is just as good as a Blood Moon on turn 2. That's not true. If they have fetches, that makes sense. But like I'd rather have our late game draws be better than our early game draws. If that makes sense. A turn 3 Blood Moon is obviously a lot worse than a turn 2 Blood Moon just because of their fetch lands. But I guess what I'm saying is like it's not as critical in this match compared to other matchups. Is my point. I think I'm just gonna go like this. I could also just see just not having all three blood moons in. I could also see a Trinisphere. Okay. This hand is pretty bad, honestly. We will keep. Thoughtseize. You got it. You want one of my blood moons or my bone grinder giant? I can see us losing this game with this hand. This hand is like semi below medium. But again, like this hand is serviceable. Like it's not a bad hand. Thoughtseize bug. And like slamming a Goyf here is actually really good for our opponent. Ooh, no Goyf. Okay, okay. So because this hand like just loses the Tarmogoyf. We just play Stomp if we need to. They go Bobble Lures, we just Stomp the Lures, which is fine. Sure. They're like, you drew another Blood Moon. Why? Why? I'm gonna fetch a forest to quote-unquote thin the deck. And here they could Swamp Fatal Push this Magus, which is unfortunate, but ooh, no Fatal Push? No Fatal Push is pretty gas. Wow, okay, so that's good. Oh, but that did wait. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so this is kind of awkward for us. Because a Goyf would be unkillable for us at this point. And now they just fetch their basics, which is bad, but what are you going to do? I could play Obosh this turn. I mean, they have the pulse of the trophy, they have the pulse of the trophy. I don't think we just play Drago here. Because they have limited answers, pretty much, to Onabosh. So, and then like our lightning bolts can actually kill Tarmogoyf at this point. So, oh, they're gonna pulse it. Oh, that's so gross. Lingering Souls, cute. I miss Lingering Souls. Play this Klothys. Then we can stomp one of these spirits and then play it next turn. Because this Klothys can race the spirits pretty easily. Yep. They're holding back on the Laris, which is fine. Stomp here. And they have nothing to really Laris back, so they don't have much value in casting it. And if they cast it, then I just bolt it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to exile this Deadweight. Oh, that was a good draw. One, two, three, four, five. We actually don't want to animate this Klothys because they have Path to Exile, so like I want to be mindful of how much devotion I actually have. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I know, right? Top 10 anime betrayals. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So now they could path. And they're thinking about it. So now, like, our board just raises Lingering Souls. And this is the part where I just, like, I think Lingering Souls is just not a good Magic card. Oh, no. Oh, they're gonna not attack. So they are... not enough creatures to kill this Scavenging Ooze. That's for a draw. Trophy. Give me 1 second. Padadan? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, but thanks for all the follow. I really appreciate it. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to fetch here. It doesn't matter if I get a forest. I have enough red sources here. They only have 2 green sources, so that's pretty gas. So then I'll let this resolve, and then I'll target my creature with my Klothys. Oh, it gives more creatures. So this Scooze is a problem. One, two, three, four. We really need to like draw a relic or something. No instance. I'll just exile this Assassin's Trophy, see if my opponent exiles it with the Scavenging Ooze. That's fine. Let's draw here. I mean, like a relic or another removal spell. That is not going to do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Because I can't bolt the Scoos because they're just going to bring it back with Luris. So I think I just have to pass a turn. Man, this is super awkward. Like, we just kind of just have to let this happen. Lands get draw for us. Hopefully they attack. Okay. Sure. Another Klothys draw. Okay. Just exile one of the enchantments. Turn off Tarmogoyf. So the way we win this game is we 6, excuse me. So we can just aggro them out with our Bone Crusher Giant. Forest attack here. Because we can bolt one of the spirits and then sure. We're not missing lethal. There's no creatures in the graveyard. So they could cast Luris, but they get no value out of it, so I don't know if they would. They might just have a lifelinker, but they go to 11. We have opponent's like, should I attack? My opponent attacking signifies they have a removal spell. 2, 3, 4. This is a pretty interesting game. Oh, ballsy. Ballsy. Sure. One, two, three. At this point, I play the Spyro. Discard Klothys. That wasn't good. Hopefully they don't have Path to Exile. So I'm gonna target my Bone Crusher Giant. So if they do have Path, they have to Path the Bone Crusher Giant and not the Klothys. So that justifies I don't have any removal. Silent Clearing. That's a good draw. Ooh. That's a good draw. Dang. You know what would be a really good draw is a Firebolt that I boarded out. Maybe that attack with Bone Crusher Giant was a little too aggressive. Okay. So we're not dead. Exile Luris. Make sure it's gone. This is an interesting game. I'm just gonna pitch this land. Oh man. So as long as they don't have a removal spell, we're okay, because we can just chump block and then end a turn, make tokens and then attack through. Luckily, this is a cost, so I can. My opponent doesn't have. There's no point where my opponent profits as long as I have mana up. So I'm gonna target just one elemental token here. One. One, two, three, four. Wow. Keswick Wolf Run, man. I guess I could have cracked the Relic first, but would yeah. Wow. Keswick Wolf Run is one of my secret favorite cards, and this I think it's one of those things where, like, I feel like when you play Ponza or just Blood Moon decks, you're like, oh, I can't run these like utility lands. You just have Blood Moon. But games you don't have Blood Moon, you just win the game with Keswick Wolf Run. It's just absurd. Oh man, I'm so glad I had Keswick Wolf on because I don't think enough red green mid range lists run Keswick Wolf on. This card has just literally won me games. 3-0 start. Really happy that I'm finally doing good with this deck on stream because I think I went 1-4 the past two Gruul leagues, which is kind of frustrating. But I think the two main deck Blood Moons instead of a playset of Maxes is where we want to be. I can see why people are playing 4 Blood Moons, um, but I think I like just having 2 Maguses, just to have creatures that just attack. Because like even in matches where you don't really want to, like this, like I said, like where the text of the Magus really doesn't impact the board much, like you still want a card that attacks. Because I think when you have 4 Blood Moons, if you draw multiple of them, they're kind of like mediocre. Like you just stick one, the second one's a lot worse. But like with Magus, like you don't mind drawing multiple because they attack. So like a 3-mana 2/2 is not a bad draw when they deal 4 damage. So it's actually a 3-mana 4/2, which actually isn't bad. Um, but man, that Keswick Wolfrun is just so good. Keswick Wolfrun won the game. Obviously, Season Pyromancer did, but we just overloaded our opponent's removal. Um, GTX 40. Sure, you get to go first. I have a companion. His name is Obosh. Okay, solid hand against Luris. So Kitchen Finks is good against all the Luris decks. Uh-oh. Thoughtseize. No Thoughtseize. So this is Jund. Excuse me. Like, is a Kitchen Finks is good against all the Luris decks because it's like it's Burn and Jund and like Grixis and Dimir. So like Kitchen Finks just does work. Ooh, my opponent not play second land. My opponent kept a really greedy hand. Land Bauble. I really want to know what it was in my opponent's hand because that's greedy, really greedy. Because now this Kitchen Finks just wins the game. I can see my opponent going Bolt plus Renin 6 next turn. And that would kind of clean the answer of the Finks, but nope, my opponent doesn't have the Bolt. Oh, he has a fetch land though. So my opponent could push. You could just do the same sequence of events next turn. Ooh, Grixis. Okay. What is he doing? Red mana? Blue mana? Kroxa. Sure. Kind of want to ditch this Bolt. I want to ensure my land drops. I could pitch a land, but then like if I don't draw a land, just like it's just all bad. Klothys would be absurd. See the Pyromancer? Okay. At this point, I'm kind of tempted to just pitch the Glorybringer and land. So then go 6, and then like Obosh plus Bolt was lethal. I think I like that. I don't think I think Glorybringer is like we didn't just keep applying pressure, and I think I just like Season Pyromancer pitching Glorybringer and Stomping Ground. Oh, there's the Klothys. So if this Klothys resolves, then it's almost game over at that point. I'm not gonna cast this Obosh. It is lethal, but I'd rather just save that for last. I think people are too aggressive with casting their companions. Because if my opponent is like, if my opponent's gonna do anything here, like, and I resolve this Klothys is just gonna win the game by itself. K command. I discard. Okay. I don't mind discarding this elf. Yeah, just play Klothys. If my opponent plays Kroxa, I don't care. I just bolt my opponent. This Klothys is also just a creature that can't. I think it's one of those things where, like, when I play this deck in paper, I think it's gonna be difficult to keep track of if my Klothys has is active or not. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna lose track. I'm like, oh, I can attack with this, right? Like, I think it's those things where I just have to think twice about it in paper. Yeah, well, that's difficult for me to play smarter. Okay. Alrighty. Veils plus choke seem good. I like relics. Luckily, Watsi released code to kill Paperman. Yeah, it's gonna be a little concerning to see if Paper Magic survives. Just with how much Paper Magic stores are already kind of struggling, they can survive this, where it's like 2-3 months of no income. Hey, can you imagine how stinky they'll be after this? Like, come on. I think we just go like this. I like the chokes. Just probably the same thing as our Jund matchup. Like, I can see Firebolt being okay, but like I think we have enough answers to Luris that we don't need to Firebolt, and I want like stuff that I can do at instant speed in this matchup. I could also see Trinisphere because it shuts off Soundcaster essentially, but I think that's not where we want to be. Like, this game's gonna go long and Trinisphere isn't gonna do too much. I think we just go like this. That storage will fall. I remember having to freeze it down at release. Oh my god, dude. Honestly, like, Febreze makes everything worse. Let's be real here. The bad stories have failed. The guns that have a decent player sold. I hope so. I mean, like, I'm not worried about my LGS because, like, my LGS is the Channel Fireball local game center, and I don't know how they are on the back end, but like, just in general, I feel like the player base there is pretty good. I'm just worried about like this local game stores like in the middle of nowhere that barely have like enough people for like F&M and stuff. I think those are the stores that will struggle. But then again, maybe this is the time where like they resurge because like people want to come back and play Magic, right? So that I'm hopefully we can be optimistic and that's the case. Yeah, sure. Draw my. I think you have to take Klothys here. Unless you have a second discard spell, you have to take Klothys. Relic. Wow. Okay. Sure. Just play Mountain, hold up Bolt for some odd reason if I need to. Hopefully we draw a third land sometime. We have 2 draws to our third land. I also don't mind just a 1-mana Dork or a Mana Accelerant in general. That's fair. I'll take that. I'll pass the turn. My store can be considered one that's in the middle of nowhere. He runs a gun line miss as well, so I'm sure he'll get through it. I hope so, and I think that's one of those things where if you have a local game store that, like, if you have a store like that, I think it's one of those things where you should try to buy from them. I've been trying to buy a lot of stuff on TCG Player lately just to support, whatever. Because I think that's where we just need to be right now. We just need to support these guys. What are we doing? Luris. Do it. Castle Luris. Sure, I will stomp this cat. Stompity stomp stomp. Oof. Roadkill. Let's let this Klothys take over the game. My opponent could also just unearth the Luris back. Or like K-Command it back in response to my Klothys, which would be kind of annoying, but we'll see. Because if they just pass the turn, I'm probably just gonna exile the Bauble. Because like, even if they K-Command the Luris back, like, there's nothing in the graveyard. I think just Thoughtseize us. Oh, they just do it now. That's fair. That is fair. Exile unearth. I could hold up Bolt. To like stop the shenanigans. I think that's just bad use of mana. Maybe I should have exiled the land with the Klothys, and I could play Kitchen Finks, hold up Bolt. No, I think I should have thought that through, and I should have actually just exile the land. But I think at this point, like, I kind of don't want to play into a K command either, which is like what my opponent's kind of representing here. So I think I'm just gonna play the most mana efficient play that doesn't get blown up by K command. Because like my opponent like is leaning on those lures, and like I don't mind just playing draw go, and this Klothys is just gonna win. I think at this point I don't think I care about the card advantage. Like this Klothys is just gonna win the game. So, ooh, Death Shadow. Okay. So I guess the way we lose the game now, if they have a Team of Battle Rage, I didn't realize this list played Death Shadow. The Legends of Steen, thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Here I think I just played another Finks. And I thank you again for the follow, Legend of Steen. Really appreciate it. I could just play Seasoned Pyromancer, but I don't want to discard the Sphinx either, so I think I'm just going to play the Kitchen Finks. I could see us getting cheesed out, like, by them giving this double strike, but, like, we're at a really high life total right now. It's starting to become my favorite Marin deck too. Honestly, it's really fun. Um, it's exactly what I want to do in this format. It's like a mid range deck that has game against big mana. Like, come on, like it's so good. So I think I'm getting punished for not thinking through 2 turns ago, where I could exile a land and play the Finks and hold up Bolt. I think that might punish me because now they are getting to the point where card advantage is kind of, we are kind of drowning in card advantage. But that being said, like we can come back from this. We can just season Pyromancer and draw, and then just have chump blockers for this Death Shadow while we just sit back on this Klothys. And we just take this. We probably just have another Shadow. Would be my guess. Sure. Yeah, we got it. Um, Stomp is an interesting draw. We could stomp our opponent and then play Season Pyromancer. Yeah, I think I had mana here because I could stomp our opponent and then we could also just stomp Lurrus and Season Pyromancer. And if they have K command, they have K command. Yeah, I think I just stomp Lurrus and then we also want them to don't want them to um, accumulate too much card advantage now at this point. So add red. Stomp this. Sweet. One, two, three, four, five. So next turn, if we draw a land, we can go or not. Okay. Oh, I could have attacked for lethal. You're right. I just didn't think. Oh, I guess no. I think we would have gotten blown up by a removal spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like the no attack. I think I like the no attack. Because they go to 5. I guess I could bolt them. They go to. They could go to 2. They have 11 lemons, and if they have any removal spell, we die in the crackback. I think I'm just gonna wait. I think we're at the stage of the game where like I don't think they can attack, and I don't think we're gonna attack either. I'm gonna fetch now. And got instantly punished. Here they can't snap K command, so I'm just gonna exile the K command. And I think I'm gonna like end her turn, just make a bunch of tokens. And then we can kind of go wide. I don't want to play this tracker, I don't think. And I don't want to play his Bone Crusher Giant either. I could see playing Bone Crusher Giant and then just hold up Bolt. So I can see either... I can see just end step Season Pyromancer or just play Bone Crusher Giant plus Bolt. Maybe the correct line is just play Bone Crusher Giant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Bone Crusher Giant also makes our Klothys live. So I think maybe we just do that line. I don't think I attack again, just based on the same reasoning as last time, where we just get blown out by a removal spell. So dismember. I'm thinking if I should bolt my Bone Crusher Giant. Just to like turn off this dismember. Oh man. Maybe I should have played this. I should have just done the Spyro tokens. I think I just let this resolve. Wow. So that might have been a spot where I wanted to bolt there. Relic. I think I'm gonna Relic, play another Bone Crusher Giant, and then pass. Hold up Bolt. Like they have 6 cards in hand and they just aren't playing anything. So I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna let this happen because if they want to bolt my Bone Crusher Giant, then that's fine. Tap the Steam Vents. Oh, no. Oh. Kill a token, huh? Because I don't want to exile it because I also want my Season Pyromancer tokens too. Like, I don't mind them bolting a elemental token. Here, I think we just end step, exile some tokens, or make some tokens. Oh, my opponent didn't reveal lures this game. Is it just exiled? Oh, where'd it go? Oh, he brought it in his hand. It's in his hand, that's right. I was like, oh, how do I measure everyone's lures? I could try to Blood Moon. I think I'm gonna end step just exile my Season Pyromancer, and then next turn go Blood Moon. Hope they try to remove it. Sure. I could try to get greedy and try to hit a bolt off this, and then just try to bolt through this, but I don't think that's where you want to be. I think we're on the make some tokens plan here. This is an interesting game for sure. I don't think I want to play into the Stubborn Dana here, so let's just play a land and pass. I think it pays to be patient in this matchup. Another Dismember. Sure. There's a lot of back and forth. I like it. Inquisition. And a bolt here. We can take our Blood Moon. Choke. Let's draw another card. I just want to hang tight again. I could play choke, but I kind of want to play choke after they tap out for a lurish or something. And then if they have a discard spell, they have a discard spell. Sure. Again, I could have like tried to relic into a stomp or a bolt, but I think the game is still a ways away where I could do that. Like I'm trying to not play into a stubs. Interesting. So they just have TBR. So 24. I have to pretty much sacrifice and hold board. I think I just let this happen. If my opponent has a TBR, then we have a TBR. I think it's time to cash in. Could probably just wait. Okay. I think now is our time to attack. Hmm. On second thought, not. I was thinking they might counter it, so they just don't have stubs. Sure. I think here is where I'll make them bite. I'm gonna exile everything. Well, if they have the counterspell, they have the counterspell. I think this is a good enough time as any to attack. I should have played the Obosh. Because it doesn't matter. Do they play Mana Leak? Whatever. We'll just have to just hope this works. Wow. So they just never had the counterspell, but I think we just have to play it that way. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They were stuck on 4 lands too for the whole game. Wow. That's insane. I don't know if I was too patient that game. I mean, I feel like if I attack at any point in that game, like we just get blown up by removal, someone just died of crackback with Death Shadows. Oh well. Forward. Oh, come on, let's go. Let's get the second trophy of this deck. Sweet. This deck is so good. I think maybe it would have been correct to just bolt our Bonecrusher Giant. There's that one turn where they had dismembered our Klothys, and I could have bolted our Bone Crusher Giant in response. I also could see just like I maybe it should have just played exile the Spyro tokens or exile the Spyro tokens, and then that way my Klothys does not turn on. Maybe that might have been just the better line than playing Bone Crusher Giant. Because it's not like I needed to hold up Bolt. Because that turn I was between exiling Seasonal Prime Minister ranking guard or casting Bone Crusher Giant hold up Bolt. And I think I didn't need to hold up Bolt that turn. Like it doesn't matter. My opponent's gonna play a Lurrus. So it's like, okay, well they're gonna like it doesn't matter if I hold up Bolt that turn or next turn. Like my opponent's gonna get the value out of it. That being said, like I wonder if Grixis Death Shadow is playing Stubborn Denial. I was just like not just playing around for no reason. Oh yeah, I just have no Stubborn Denials? That seems wrong. Interesting. I don't know if this is the same deck list, right? Because I didn't see Ops or Sleight of Hands. Nice win. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Gemini Spartan X. Thank you so much. We're up against Creepy Pasta. Playing for the 5-0. Turn 2 Blood Moon. I feel it. Do you feel it? Oh, against Yorion, my arch nemesis. I hate Yorion decks. Something good. Firebolt is pretty anemic in this matchup. Hopefully Blood Moon just gets us there. The thing about Yorion is we can't outgrind him. Like there's just no way. So we just need to. Ooh, that's ballsy. You know, Blood Moon. Don't play Blue Mana. Don't do it. Okay. It's like, do I not play into this Blood Moon? I think I do. Just do it, right? Like, I don't know. There's so many different Yorion decks. It's hard to tell if they play mana counter spells or not. But if they league it, they league it. Ooh, white mana. Okay. Okay. So we're saying we're live. That's what you're telling me. Telling me we're live. Oh, they have the island. Fairy. That's rude. It's okay. I can just Firebolt plus Blood Moon him again. So Blood Moon. And then play Stomping Grounds. I don't have to pay 2 mana. Firebolt the face. And then next turn we can go Glorybringer into Seasoned Pyromancer. Seems like a good way to set this up. Fine. You get to exile the Blood Moon. It's rude. It's rude. I'm one of those matchups where maybe Magus might be better, right? Like, then the Nahiri doesn't effectively answer it. Luckily, if my opponent does cast a Yorion, there's nothing of value on the graveyard or on the battlefield, so it's like, okay. Sure, you got a birds. So I am scared of Obosh. Or not Obosh, Ice Fang Quaddle. I'm just gonna not exert. Steal as much pressure as I can. Okay. So my opponent just cast Yorion, then it's just game over if my opponent doesn't do anything else, because we just cast Obosh and then just exert one Glorybringer, and we have lethal. So hopefully my opponent just does that. Just cast a Yorion as a chump blocker. Yes. 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 No. Row. So that is not it. My Glorybringers are still lethal here. So my opponent doesn't have anything else. Oh, we are live. Don't wrath me. Don't wrath me. Green mana, blue mana. Oh, you're just gonna cast a row. That's fine. So now he goes up to 1 life above lethal. God, it just buys Euro so much. It's just insane. It just does so much in one magic card. So brutal. Yep, bolt or yeah, bolt would do it here. I guess I could fetch the thinner deck. I mean, I can see Tyler's Tracker being the one exception, and I think that's enough to not fetch. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Tracker. Okay, so it's just bolt. It's just a land. All right. Well. And we are going to exert with one of the Glorybringers. So that way, my opponent, if they don't blink the row, and then there's not enough cards in the graveyard for a row to come back. So attack one, exert the other, right? This deals 8 damage to it with Obosh, so they go to 1. So they're under pretty heavy pressure here. And that being said, like the Firebolt in our graveyard is lethal too. Niv Mizzet. So they're on Niv Yorion. Got it. Puts Lightning Helix and Red and 6 in the hand, right? Okay, cool. I was like, Niv Mizzet is like the most annoying thing to play against online. It's just like, how do I know what cards though they goes in their hand? So it's like, puts Lightning Helix and Red and 6 in the hand. Okie dokie. That was sweet. I don't see much sideboarding that I can do. Like I can see arguments for like choke and another moon just to shut them off blue mana and like shut them off like being able to cast their expensive stuff. I think adding another moon is good here. It's just one of those things where like it's probably gonna be light sideboarding because like there's nothing in our sideboard that is good. I mean, I could see maybe Veil of Summer if they have like if we want to like get them with Teferi, but it's really bad on the draw anyway. So I can see arguments for that on the play, but on the draw, I'm not gonna board it in. So like Gemini Smartass, like we said, like I can see Blood Moon, just to get them. I mean, they have Astrolabes and stuff, but they have like 80 cards, right? So they can probably play through with one Astrolabe, which is fine, but like I think it's just bad enough for them where Blood Moon is still effective. I think it's hard to say what to cut Because there's so many different versions of Yorion too, so it's like it's hard to say which version like this person's on. This person's on the Niv Mizzet version, which is even more harder because like now we like you can customize a Niv Mizzet deck however you want and how you want to attack the meta. They could be on a bunch of lightning elixir that we saw, like so Arbor Elves could be bad on draw. So maybe I'll just do that. Maybe we'll just cut an Arbor Elf. I guess also just see like a Firewall being cut too. I think I'm just gonna do this. Don't cut Elf. I mean, I don't know what else to cut. I mean, I could cut a Bolt too. Maybe cutting a Bolt was probably correct. I already too late submitted it. Sorry. Hopefully I don't get punished. Hopefully I just have a Moment Accelerant here. Come on. Nope. So if we slam a Klothys and they don't have anything, then darn Twitch delay. Yeah, right. Not that it would have mattered. Like, we didn't have the Blood Moon, so, like, it's not like we would have had the Torn our Ralph play anyway. Fine. Don't play smart versus my Blood Moon. You do that. Pull up Stomp. Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, we're just kind of slow out of the gate where we kind of need to be the aggro deck. Like how we won game one, we just went like turn two fakes into just beat down, and then just like glory bringing them, right? It's like, ooh, you're not scared of Blood Moon? Okay, okay, okay. I mean, they could have Teferi. Teferi could be a good reason as to not care about the Blood Moon. Uro? Saheeli. So I guess they're on cat combo. So I think it's to the point where do I want to play Magus or Blood Moon? And they have green mana. So it's like if they have like if they boarded in some sort of like Nature's Claim or something, then it's like I don't want Blood Moon. And plus I kind of want to attack the Saheeli Ride-Down. So I think I'm just gonna play this Magus instead of the Blood Moon. Except Dismember, yep. Oh, they had the blue mana. Klothys. Okay. No, we just have right battling Klothys is here. Excuse me. I think I just play Klothys. They could also just play cat combo. Wow, that's rude. That's really rude. So now if they just have cat, we lose. But I don't think they'll play cat. They can't cast cat still. Oh, no, they can with Klothys. So they can with Klothys. So now it's like, do we want a Blood Moon here? And it's like, I think my answer is no, just because they have the Klothys, so they can just like, they can just fight through the Blood Moon anyway. So I kind of want to play my own Klothys, maybe. Play my own Klothys, and then if they have a land, if I draw a land, I can go Bone Crusher or Stomp plus Hold Up Finks. So I think I just do that. I could also just play the Finks, but I think Klothys just wins us the long game better. Oh, that's true, huh? But still, I feel like it still fixes their mana too, so I feel like it's fine. Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, if they Teferias, that's so bad. Oh, they're just gonna Niv Miz. Oh, we should have Blood Mooned. Oh, man. 4 colors. Did they just misplay? Oh, okay, that's fine. So they would have won any game anyway because they had red, so they can go. No, actually they can't. They can only bring light for 3. So that not playing Blood Moon was not the right play there. So I'm gonna bring in these Arbor Elves. I think these bolts are good. I don't think I want. I think I just go back to my original 60, right? I could also just see shaving a Finks. Maybe just shave a Finks. And hopefully we just, our turn 1 Blood Moon gets there. Or turn 2 Blood Moon, sorry. Yeah, I don't think the rest of our deck is fine. Now that we know they're on cat combo, I think we just again light sideboard, just bringing up Blood Moon instead of a Finks. Please. Okay. Great hand. Hopefully they are greedy with their mana base. They kept a 7-2 as well. Sounds good to me. I could see an argument for naming green with the sprawl, so we can cast the Finks, but I think I'm gonna cash in the Season Pyromancer right away anyway. So play tap land. Just play like a Spire or something, so we can turn 2 Blood Moon you. Yep. That being said, if they go turn 1 Astrolabe, that's fine. Like the Blood Moon still does a lot of work. So that's a good draw because now I'm gonna fetch a forest and we can play Kitchen Finks too. So hopefully this is enough. Hopefully they have no other basics in their hand. Sweet. So now we are on Kitchen Finks, Hold Up Bolt. Oh, that's a good draw too. So another land would be really good because then we just Glorybringer. No. It's okay. Our aggro plan's still pretty good here. Sure. Land off the top, please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Pretty please. I think we cast a Spyro here, discard Bolt and Arbor Elf, and then we have a pretty decent board too. And then we can like Glorybringer if need be. Like next turn. And we just play an elf. Sweet. So that's a pretty good turn. So now we can deal 5, 10, 11, 12 damage with Obosh, or 5, 9, 10, 11 damage with Glorybringer. My dog is sleeping, kicking the kicking the chair. Okay. 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 What I'm probably most scared of is a Wrath, obviously, for obvious reasons. If they Niv Mizzet us, that's fine. We can just go wide. Six is a good number because if we have Bolt, we can go Obosh Bolt. So Bring to Light would be pretty bad for us because they can just get a Wrath. If this is Niv Miz, that's fine. Oh, sure. That's game? Obosh is probably the best line because our Firebolt does the most damage. Whoa, yes! My vote on stream, baby. Let's go. Oh, this deck is sweet. Oh my god. 2 5-0s back to back. Oh my god, this deck is so good. Oh, Jesus Christ. So good. Oh my god. Love it. This deck is so good. Let's see, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 5-0s in a row, and then a 4-1 here. Ignore this commander game, and then a 4-1. So that's what, 2 4-1s and 2 5-0 back to back. Oh, that feels so good. Oh my god, I love it. Oh man, that feels good, especially because I like streaming this deck. I think I went 1-4 twice playing this archetype. And it's like off stream, I've just been doing so good. Like I've been going 4-1 and 5-0 this whole time. So to 5-0 on stream is just like super gas. So gas. Oh, I'm so pumped. I love this deck so much. So let's just recap. So I did test. I 5-0'd yesterday with a place at a Magus main, and the only change I made between yesterday and today is I swap 2 Maguses to Blood Moon, so I have a 2-2 split now. And playing the games, I can see why having the split is good, because Blood Moon doesn't get Seal of Fire, it doesn't get Lightning Bolted, it doesn't get dead weighted if they have a basic swamp. It doesn't get fatal pushed. Um, but I do like the split, and I think I'm gonna advocate the split even more, just because the Maguses can attack and they can block. Um, and dealing 4 damage with a Bosch in play is like really, really, really good. Um, the other flex slot that I've seen is Firebolt, and as you can see, like I've been really liking Firebolt just because like in the aggro meta, like with a lot of burn and stuff, like the Firebolt was just another 1 mana interactive spell, and I don't think we have enough of those with only 4 lightning bolt. Having 5 is just clutch. And as you saw, like I'll have a Firebolt in hand if it's just not doing anything. I don't mind discarding the Seasoned Pyromancer because that's flashback. So like I really like the Firebolt. I think it's a good one of. I don't know if I want 2 because it's a little clunky. I don't like the sorcery speed, but I think as a one of, I think Firebolt's really good with how the deck runs with Seasoned Pyromancer. You can deal 2 damage early, and then Obashi deals 4 late game. Like there was one game yesterday where I was against some deck, and I like top deck a Firebolt, and I had an Obashi in play, and it's 8 damage by itself. Isn't that crazy? Like a bolt is 6, so it's a lot, but Firebolt's 8 damage by itself, which is absurd. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can follow me on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/KODiamonds. Or my Twitter handle is twitter.kodiamonds22 at the end of it. It should be on the bottom of the screen. Other than that, I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, everyone for following today, for the bits. I'm just going to go over who followed today. It's going to be YD368, Uncle DB, Padded Dan, Legend of Steen. I appreciate the bits and the follow. And Gemini Spartan X, thanks for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. You contributed a lot to the chat. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. It makes playing the deck a lot of fun when people hang out and, you know, chat and contribute to the games and stuff. Point out my misplays. And I think that's one of the underrated parts of streaming that people don't know if people don't stream. I think when I stream and I misplay or something, people point out in the chat, and I really like that because it improves my play. And I think I've gotten a lot better. I might not have 1,000 followers like a Sterling Spark or whatever, but like the people that do follow and point out the mistakes I make, it's made me improve immensely as a Magic player. And I really appreciate you guys contributing to the chat and pointing out all the mistakes I make. Literally, it's really great. The Goopies, thanks again for the follow too. I really appreciate it. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat dinner now. But again, thanks again for everyone tuning in. For the people that are watching on YouTube, appreciate it too. You guys can follow me on Twitter. That's where I post. I don't have a consistent streaming schedule, which is unfortunate because it's kind of one of those things where like where I really have time, I'll just stream right now. So it's kind of last minute. I wish I would have a more consistent schedule, but just with like how life works, it's just hard to go. I'm going to dedicate this time every week. So follow me on Twitter, so that's when you know exactly when I will stream. But other than that, feels good to 5-0, baby. Feels even better when you just... Oh, man, that's so good. This deck is just so gas. Oh, Glory Bringers are just so good. Oh, man, beating Yorion just feels good, too. I hate Yorion. But other than that, appreciate it. Please stay safe, everyone. Stay inside, stay healthy. We'll make it through this. Hopefully my stream can help you guys not go crazy when you guys are just inside all day. Really appreciate it, guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.